Leaky pipe is a flexible, durable and long-lived porous rubber hose, not a pipe with holes in. Unaffected by root ingress, it can be laid into the soil to give discreet, vandal-resistant watering of any landscape planting. Alternatively, it can be laid on top of the ground, connected and checked before covering with an organic mulch. Irrigation water is directed to the root zone as a banded application all along the length of leaky pipe. Although there is no limit on how much leaky pipe you can work at one time, there is a limit on how far you can expect a single length of leaky pipe to work for from its point of connection to a polytube or hose. We recommend that this distance is 50 metres for the LP12H leaky pipe, the one that's commonly used in landscaping, but this is extended to 100 metres for the LP12L leaky pipe that is primarily used subsurface, particularly in the establishment of hedging. There are many different ways of connecting leaky pipe to supply hose. I hope we can show you a few ideas of what you can achieve using fittings, a pair of cutters and some ingenuity to water large areas at one time with very little effort. Here we have two 100-metre lengths of leaky pipe with polytube bringing the water to the centre, giving us the ability to water a 100-metre strip or tram line. Of course, this could be a 200-metre strip when using the LP12L leaky pipe. This idea can further be expanded to create an array of tram lines with the polytube main or spine carrying the water to the centre of every group. As you start to see, this is about getting the maximum watered area with the minimum of fuss. Back to the bed or border situation, add the leaky pipe at approximately 600 to 900 millimetres or 2 to 3 foot apart, perhaps in meandering lines close to the plants in a common sense type of manner. Plug and fold the ends to seal. Then create a polytube manifold that the leakies can be teed into. They will then all work together to water the area, with moisture seeping out across the width. The manifold position could be at the end of the bed, or, to extend the bed length, move the manifold to the centre. Just a note here, with some soils, the surface striping of the moisture may not look like much, but it will be spreading laterally beneath the surface and the roots of the plants will hunt that moisture. So, to start putting a sense of feel on this, consider something we all recognise, a normal domestic garden water source. These are usually capable of running up to 300 metres of leaky pipe at one time, but not as one length, but as many lengths cut and laid into the things we wish to water, then interconnected with non-porous pipe or polytube. Here you see the two beds connected together and supplied by the source. Another good thing to remember is that if you can form a ring main, this will aid the distribution of the irrigation water more efficiently, losing less pressure in the process. What this can mean is that you can add more connections while being more confident of the working pressure being roughly similar at the far points relative to the near ones. And you get a system that works evenly. So coming away from the schematic drawings, let's put some photographs in front of you that are of real situations. This one is a central reservation in Portsmouth. Once again, you can see our lines being drawn on the planters of the ground level zone of this multi-storey car park. You can see the before and the after images taken during the same year. Sometimes, dividing a site into zones to water at separate times is a beneficial idea. There can be a number of reasons to do this. It may be that you know that the site will need 900 metres of leaky pipe for the total area, but the water supply can only provide for 300 metres at a time. so you can spread the load by splitting the total area up into 3 zones and operating them one at a time. This can be done manually or water sequentially using timers set not to clash, or even better, use a proper irrigation controller with solenoid valves and pressure regulators. You may wish to divide your irrigation system into zones based on the characteristics of the areas to be watered: north facing, south facing, well drained, poorly drained, exposed to the wind or sheltered. The variety of environment created in a courtyard type area provides us a strong example of why we should zonalise the irrigation system for this application. The surrounding high buildings cause the most southern areas on the plan to be in almost constant shadow, while the northern sections receive lots of sheltered sunshine during the growing season. If we imagine a soft landscaping design within our courtyard, we may split our watering system up into 3 zones: a shaded zone, a sunny zone, and a third in the middle for, let's say, normal areas. Here we also see the polytube supply pipes running back to a central source of control. Also, you may think about the subjects that you intend to water with the system. For example, herbaceous borders may want different watering times to trees and hedges, or you may wish to water the lawn more sparingly than a group of planters. And then there are the less usual subjects for zonalisation, say for example sedum mats on green roofs and green constructions like living walls. The following examples we hope will give you some food for thought. Slowing the pace down a little, here's an example of a 2-zone watering system being attached to the mineral felt layer of a green roof construction. The water supply is being controlled and pumped at roof level. Reinforced soil structures, or green walls, can have leaky pipe attached to the steel reinforcing, or better still, incorporated into the geotextile membrane that forms the batter layers. The important aspect here is to split the network into zones according to a 4-metre vertical drop. Then place a pressure regulator in the supply to the middle of the supply manifold that runs down the face of the wall. The reason for this is to help to ensure the bottom leaky pipe in that zone is working similarly to the upper leaky pipe. Sometimes it may be relevant to water the upper zone separate to the lower zone, as natural drainage will occur. I hope you've now seen the breadth of application that leaky pipe can be used within, and the simplicity of the design and build that can be relied upon in most situations. Professional landscapers are successfully installing these in the knowledge that they will improve their soft landscaping results and ease their maintenance bills. Of course, irrigation systems can grow in size and complexity. Large systems just involve bigger supply pipework and more zones to more efficiently utilise the resources. But the basic philosophy that I previously presented here remains the same. The following is an example of a system installed to the screening bunds around the Mannheim car auction site outside of Colchester and was completed in 1991. 25 kilometres of leaky pipe were laid and grouped into 10 zones. Hardly a tree or shrub was lost to drought, and as a result they recalled us to extend the system to a new area some 10 years later. In their minds, it was money well spent to ensure the success of the screen and the completion of their planning conditions. Leaky pipe is not a new product. We have been working and developing leaky pipe porous hose watering techniques for 30 years. It doesn't often get noticed, but we have many systems 15 to 20 years old that still give good service. I hope that you've enjoyed listening to this presentation. Please do get in touch if we can advise further. Thank you.